Hello and welcome to my daily devotional for Friday, the 18th of November. And we continue to read Galatians chapter 2 and verses 12 and 13. Before certain men came from Jews, he, that is Peter, was eating with the Gentiles. But when they arrived, he separated himself because he was afraid of the Jews. And the rest of the Jews played along with him in this hypocrisy. Also Barnabas was carried away with their hypocrisy. When I was taking the third and final exam to become an approved driving instructor, it involved having to try and teach the examiner a subject of his choosing. It was a role play. He was playing the role of a pupil, whilst I was playing the role of an instructor. The literal meaning of hypocrite is to act behind a mask. I wasn't an instructor, and the examiner wasn't a pupil. It was my role play to try and convince the examiner that I was good enough to be an instructor, and praise God, it worked. In ancient times, actors and actresses held a mask over their face, and this continued until relatively recent times. The mask was to aid the audience in believing that the actors or actresses were who they sought to portray. However, the word hypocrisy now has a negative meaning. It is a description that no one would like to be known by. Jesus spoke about the hypocrisy of the scribes and Pharisees in Matthew 23 and verses 13 and to 29. In those verses, 7 times he calls them hypocrites. Jesus tells his hearers that the scribes and Pharisees prevented ordinary people from gaining access to the kingdom of heaven. They had numerous rules and regulations that people had to keep in order to gain access to the kingdom. These were rules, traditions, and regulations that the scribes and Pharisees deemed essential to gain access to the kingdom of heaven. Jesus told them that their regulations would bring dread upon them. Instead of showing the people the pathway into the kingdom and helping them achieve entrance, they were barring people from the kingdom. We must also be on the lookout to root out anything that blocks others from coming to Jesus. Have a marvelous day.